already running the laps away here at Iowa. This field settling into a groove, looking all throughout this field. They're not taking it easy though. Side-by-side racing still going on a little bit farther behind. Tony Blake Brewer and Connor James currently duking it out for the final spot inside the top 5 as they head their way downtown to 3 and 4. Even though we have gotten a good swing of things going in this race, a good solid green flag run, doesn't mean these drivers are being 100% careful. They're still going for the moves. As look at the lunge from Rick Spencer Walt heading down into turn number 1 and 2.
And side by side through 3 and 4 as well. As up on the inside, Connor James trying to get past Joseph Tucker here through 3 and 4, trying to follow those in front. Rick Spencer Walt, who's just up in front now, and Connor James will indeed get through on Joseph Tucker, who maybe has taken off quite well in this restart, but the longer this run has gone on, the slower he's gone. Tony Blake Brewer is next in line, although he was running in the top 5 initially on that restart as well, so he's dropped a place or two compared to that restart here on this longer green flag run, but not as dramatically as Joseph Tucker has in the last few moments.
Yes, as we continue to see these battles going on out there on the racetrack, I wonder what these racers may have to do when it comes to strategy around here as well. 100 laps at Iowa Speedway, not a short race by any means. So these competitors may have to worry about that, but they got to keep it on the road currently as Cole Watt's going to get shuffled out of a couple of spots.
That was contact through 3 and 4 there, and look at this, Jeff Maconi trying to come through. Cole Watts still stuck up on the outside line. Carter Casey in the 4 car has already gone through, and in the background Mateo Mitchell is also trying to follow through. This is on board with Maconi now, who slips up the inside into 3 and 4, and he's now into the top 10, or is he? Cole Watts is still fighting on the outside.
Yes, a look at Maconi in that number 86 car go, heading down into 1 and 2. Will he be able to get this move done fully, as he's still going to have to worry about that car on the outside of him? Survey says that he will clear him as they head their way on the back straightaway. Contact being made though. You can see Maconi having a saw at the wheel. Keep that car going in a straight line there. 3 wide off through 3. That's Maconi fighting with Mateo Mitchell and Cole Watts. Watts in that number 26 car who got shown the door, heading off through 3 and 4 a little bit earlier on in this race. Wants to try and get his bearing straight once again, but has been shuffled to the back of this pack. Has a little bit of ground to make up in that race car if he wants to jump up from 12, maybe make up a couple of more spots. As we've been keeping focus on this drama, I think I could see a whole lot of side-by-side racing going on a little bit farther behind as well.
It's going on all over the place at the moment. This circuit is about to become completely filled as well, I think, with cars. We're not too far away from that anyway, because Joel Brooks is quite a way off the back of the field. Although consistent lapping for the likes of Braxton Derisi and Larry Pace is quite a way away. Those front two have been battling away for some time now, but Pace still not able to find his way through as we approach 1/3 distance of this race already. Rick Spencer Walt is in 3rd place, who's caught them now. Connor James as well, Joseph Tucker and Tony Blake Brewer. I think it's not a stretch to say that the front 6 are all in the sort of leading group at the moment, as Larry Pace again gets close for the lead. Derisi is at the moment holding on though.
Yeah, keep an eye on Larry Pace, a driver that the both of us have experience commentating here on Maconi Entertainment. Standout star from this past spring and summer when he would run and absolutely tear it up in those Maconi Orca boot camp races that we got to broadcast usually on Wednesdays here on Maconi Entertainment. Quick racer in the Orca cars. Let's see what he can do in these Xfinity machines. Bit of a tough ask, but let's see what he can manage, as he is currently being in battering with Braxton Deweese to try and jump into that race lead.
Yeah, he's just been looking again and again down the inside there, but he's just not been able to get fully alongside for a while. He had briefly there, but not far enough. And this is, proving to be a relatively difficult circuit to overtake on. Pace is just going to have to bide his time a little bit here and look to find a way through some way, somehow, over the course of the next 66 laps, which we've still got to go here at Iowa Speedway. Pace another look down the inside there, but Derisi is holding on, just running his line really, running around the bottom, not being moved, not disturbed, and that's exactly how to keep a race lead, and he's doing exactly that in the 8 car so far.
Yeah, It's working out right for him at the moment, running those consistent laps. He's not throwing caution to the wind. He's just running consistent enough whereby he can run in that spot and shake off all other challengers like a bad case of the fleas. He's got Larry Pace right behind him, but Pace is not alone in that fight. He got Rick Spencer Walsh right behind, marked off as the number 14 on our graphics, actually running the number 31. Thank you, Trading Paints, for that. But look at him in that race car, slowly but surely hoving into view. This battle is now 3 cars strong. It was 2 cars strong for quite some time, but Rick Spencer Walsh is really putting in some good laps in that machine. Let's keep an eye on him to maybe impress in that Toyota.
Yeah, let's see. As again, Rick Spencer Walsh just starting to complicate this a little bit for Larry Pace. That's the real problem for the 00 at the moment. He's got to be looking up ahead and behind as Rick Spencer Walsh looks to the inside there. He thought about diving on the inside, but again, it's very, very difficult. You can see that they're all starting to group up really behind Braxton Duisi, who's just, again, running his line, and that way you're very, very difficult to overtake. Now Larry Pace has got to employ that strategy, although he'll want to overtake the 8 car for the lead, and he won't be able to do that by running the same line as the leader. He's got to balance those 2 demands right now as lap traffic starts to come up on them. There's Joe Brooks on the inside, forcing Duisi high for the first time in this run.
Yeah, so keep an eye on what sort of line that number 8 car, Braxton Deweese, will have to run. The thing with these Xfinity cars, and we've gotten the opportunity to cover a whole lot of Xfinity action with the Friday Night Lights Xfinity Series here on Maconi Entertainment. Actually going to have the season finale at Phoenix tomorrow night here, where we're going to crown a champion. But nevertheless, these cars are ones where the drivers always have to stay on their toes. They have to be at their A game at all times and adapt more than anything else. They have to change up their line, change the way that they race the cars through a longer stint. And here at this racetrack too, you got to wonder where that grip is coming in, where it's starting to fade away. And right now, I think Braxton Deweese has been able to play that game for a while, but Larry Pace is playing it too as he goes for the move down into 1.
There we go. We've been waiting for Pace for a long time to go for a move, and now he's finally got to the inside. Can he stay there in time for 3? He can't. Every time he gets his nose slightly alongside and is not able to continue on the move, Deweese is just able to get back onto his normal line after a couple of corners of just going a little bit higher. He's able to just return to standard settings, and that's making it very, very difficult. I think what Pace has got to do here is force a bit of side-by-side that's going to last longer than just a couple of corners here. That will obviously much easier said than done, of course, but that will just throw the 8 car off his game. These fleeting moves for every now and again are not quite working right now.
Yeah, that's a real worry for some of these racers. Can they actually go for the moves? Do they have enough, I'm trying to think of the right word to describe it. Do they have enough of an edge to really get some overtakes done here? Because it's one thing catching up, but overtaking is an entirely different game, and whether or not these drivers will be able to play ball, that remains to be determined as we get closer and closer to the halfway mark. As much as Larry Pace has been all over Braxton Deweese like a bear rug, he hasn't really been able to get the move done. It's pretty much like having a hungry polar bear stare at you through glass. It may be a little bit terrifying, but at the end of the day, there's no real bite that's coming your way anytime soon.
Well, it's for the moment stalemate at the front of the field. Connor James is still looking and making a pass for 3rd place on Rick Spencer Walsh, but not able to do it there either. This is a bit further back in the pack. Battle for 7th between Brian Conover, Brendan Argino and Jeff Maconi. There goes Arginio down the inside, forcing Conover wide. But again, if it's only going to be for 1 and 2, then it's not going to be very easy to pass. Now, Larry Pace doing the same again. He's looking up the inside through 1 and 2, but he's not able to force it into 3 and 4, I don't think, not this time anyway, as Connor James and Spencer Walsh go side by side as well, all happening at the front of the field while Maconi is trying to make up positions down here. He's not able to get past into 8th just yet.
Yeah, the drama breaking out up and down the field. Drivers still trying to get some moves done on each other. And now as we get closer to the halfway mark, you gotta wonder what cars have been able to fall off and which ones are still running strong. Maconi certainly running strong as he was all over the back out. Brendan Argentino coming out of turn number 4, goes for the move down into 1 and 2. Still gonna be side by side with him down the back straight away, but Maconi looking to stake his opportunity, jump his way up into 8th, but he has got a big challenge on his hands. That 88 car of Argentino still holding strong on that high side, running oh so close against that safer barrier, and Maconi not able to get that move done just yet. Got to worry about the cars a little bit farther behind. Mateo Mitchell in that number 82 machine, slowly but surely hoving into view. They also have to think about the car right in front. That's Brian Conover, I believe, in the number 97 car right in front of these racers, acting as a bit of a rolling roadblock, for lack of a better term, for those racers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're on a circuit like this and it's relatively difficult to overtake, you can end up like that, just in the way. Maconi trying his best to make some progress here in the first half of this race. Argenio, a bit high this time round. Maconi follows. Mateo Mitchell comes down the inside, and he is alongside proper through 3 and 4. Again, Maconi able to get clear, and so there's no threat any longer. Lap 50. We are halfway through this Fast Fridays on a Thursday from Iowa Speedway in these Xfinity cars. Maconi setup shop, and look at that contact. Maconi into the back of Argentino, and Mitchell is going to try and take advantage.
And who's going to be the next to try and lunge on all this? Maconi, all sorts of crossed up, coming out of 4. He's been trying to get this moved on the 88 for quite some time, but at this point, he's going to have to worry about 2 cars instead of 1, overtaking one and have to worry about getting overtaken by the other. He clears the 88 down into 3 and 4, but he still doesn't go down to the bottom. He's waiting to fully get that move done, which he has now. Maconi now going to have the opportunity to jump onto the bottom line right behind, though. Argentino now having to worry about Mateo Mitchell's on the high side of him. Rather surprising to see the high side working so well for these competitors. Worked out well 2 times in a row, as that is Mitchell getting the move done on Brendan Argentino, and that number 88 car is really starting to struggle.
Yeah, it certainly is. Brendan Argentino now down to 10th position. Still not that far off the lead, to be honest. The field not getting too spread out. There's only a little bit of lap traffic now for Braxton DeRisi to deal with out front. Larry Pace still incredibly close behind him. And I don't think from these top guys we will have seen pit stops just yet, so just make you wonder when they are going to decide to come in here, whether they're just going to end up waiting for a caution or whether somebody's going to be tempted to make a very rare green flag stop in one of these races. It's going to be interesting to find out, because as I say, we don't often see those green flag pit stops in these races, but also we don't often see green flag runs nearing 50 laps, but that's the position we're in right now.
Yeah, and after the drama that we saw right at the beginning of this race, the fact it settled into a groove really speaks volumes about the level of talent here in this race. Everybody running strong, running smooth. Thankful to say that we're running under the lights here at Iowa, so that Midwest sun is not baking this racetrack. As someone who absolutely adores the Midwest, I got the opportunity to go out there many times in my own racing adventures. I am happy to say that I was around as it was cool. Midsummer in the Midwest was never very fun. I think we're probably running it in fall conditions, though, so they may actually make the track a bit on the cool end instead of the other way around, as Larry Pace all over the back of the 8 still. Larry Pace has been just hoving in the rearview mirror of Braxton DeWeese more often than not. He's just been there, kind of getting in his head ever so slightly. I think the best way I could describe it is it's like a cat playing with a mouse before he eats it. Larry Pace has just been playing the patient game.
Yeah, it certainly has. And at the moment, you begin to wonder whether it is just a case of toying with the leader, or whether he really is struggling to make this pass at the moment. I do get the feeling on occasion he's sort of really wanted to get past here and just not been able to. A slight brush of the wall there from DeRisi, who just enters a little bit higher than the white line, and there goes the run for Pace. You can see it visually as we're riding on board there, but again, Pace is not close enough coming down in towards turns 3 and 4. And again, he will have to wait even further. What a run that is, though, out of 3 and 4. He's going to have a look to the inside now. Is Larry Pace, and is this the best chance we've had for the lead? Halfway alongside, at the door, but look at that run round the outside when he's forced to go up there. Braxton Duisi is strong on the outside line.
Yeah, DeWeese holding on to that spot still. He's just known exactly where to position that car so he can keep the race lead. Larry Pace has kind of had to play by his game. Got some lap traffic right in front, though. This could stack it up big time. Here comes Pace down the inside of DeWeese as they head their way down into turn number 1 and 2. Now there's contact right around him with the 1 and the 26. Do we have a yellow out there on the racetrack? Yes, we do, it looks like.
Yeah, we do. Shame to see that long green flag run come to an end. I think Pace will be especially displeased because he had probably his best chance to actually get through there. But there you go. He has to wait. And indeed, coming to pit lane next time round, we'll see if we can find out what happened here. Oh, already spinning on the backstretch here. Unusual place. The 11 car pretty hard into the wall, going pretty slowly. And just clips, oh dear, not looking in the mirrors, just clips the 76, that looks like, and spins down to the inside.
Yeah, that was a very messy moment heading out of turn number 2. Yeah, I'm sure he was probably having some really, really bad handling troubles because that was quite slow heading through there and stacked up out of it. The problem with the exit of these turns, you can run so many different lines, but there's only so little room that you can work with. Speaking of little room, it's a narrow pit lane that everybody is on at the present moment. Here we go.
Well, it was such a long green flag run of nearly 60 laps that it's hardly a surprise all of the drivers have had to come into pit lane. And here we go. Larry Pace actually making a bit of a move in the pit lane here as he looks to the inside. Careful not to actually spin out across the front of him there. Duisi pulls into this box though. The third last as it is. 12 car pulls up just in front of him. Now who's going to win this race off pit lane? I wouldn't imagine anybody's going to take 2 tyres. It's going to be a whole load of 4 tyre changes from these guys. And there goes Pace. Oh, that's going to be close. Very close. Either Pace or Duisi wins the race off pit lane, and it was mighty close. I think just about Braxton Duisi keeps the lead.
I think DeWeese holds on to it. Larry Pace got to be slotted right behind in P2. I'm sure he's going to try and strike while the iron is hot, jump into that top spot, and just try and run away with it as he usually does. I mean, Larry Pace, we have seen him absolutely dominate races in the past, but we've got ourselves some switch strategies. As per usual, it feels like Jeff Maconi going to be running the alternate strategy. I think he stayed out entirely, didn't even come down pit lane to take 2, just stayed out. Oh, he actually came into the pits earlier. We're hearing from our producer, Christian. Thank you very much for that heads up there, Christian. And a very intriguing call from Maconi to see him come into the pits a bit earlier. Wasn't too long, though. Came into the pits, we're hearing on, was it lap 57 I heard there? So only about 6 laps ago.
So slightly, he can't be in the lead then, can he? He would have lost a lap. Unless he's about to get waved by. But I completely missed that, if that was the case. But let's see here. When the lights go out, it's not making much sense at the moment. I have a feeling if that is the case, he's about to be waved by. But let's find out here. He looks like a driver who's about to get waved by, doesn't he? As he just moves up on the right-hand side of the pace car, although he might be choosing that line for the restart if he is indeed going to be dictating the field. Let's go off here as he crosses the line. Maconi will go. So yeah, indeed, he did pit quite a few laps ago. Has to get back round onto the lead lap again, and he'll be on slightly older tyres. So he tried to kick off a green flag round of stops, and unfortunately that green flag run didn't go on quite long enough for his strategy to really pay off.
Thankfully for Jeff, though, I think with him being waved around, as much as he'll have to scythe his way through the field, he will have some slightly hotter tires to try and do it, even though the tires may be feeling a slight burn of a slightly longer run than everybody else out there on the racetrack. We'll certainly keep tabs on that. We saw a very long green flag run leading into this. The real question is, with the yellows, is going to start off another green-yellow cycle, or are we actually going to settle this race back into a groove? Only time will tell us that pace car about to turn down pit lane and put this field back under green flag conditions again.
Well, if we have a green flag run like we did last time, the race will be over before you know it. Let's see, 36 laps to go. About third. Oh, and Jeff Maconi's been black flagged here. I don't know if he has the powers to clear that for himself, but Grace is back underway, and Pace maybe has to take this opportunity, but no, he's on the outside and he's going to be overtaken. Tucker on the inside moves to second.
As we see these racers still line astern up towards the front, right behind it is absolute pandemonium. That's a driver with a big wiggle and a huge hit into the outside wall.
Oh, goodness. That is a big mess through the turn 3 and 4. Carter Casey has come to a stop. Oh dear, that car is wrecked. Matt Mingo has got a front right tyre that is not operating as it should be. Not sure whether that is the smoke from the tyre or whether he's got engine trouble as well now. But that front right tyre is not turning anymore. Carter Casey comes down pit lane. That'll be it for him. We've already got Joel Brooks, Tommy Sweeney and Ryan Jones off the lead lap and likely out of contention. We may well have just seen another couple in this big smash through turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, and considering he had one of the hardest impacts, it is strangely fitting, for lack of a better term, that started with the number 4. You can see him already damaged on the back end of that race car, a bit of a wiggle, and that was a sledgehammer shot into that outside wall. That was worse, though, for the 82 and the 6. The 82 dang near rolled that car over as he got hit. That could have ended so much worse for all of them. I think the 82 had, I'm trying to figure out who had the most wild ride and all of that. Very lucky that this track has safer barriers. In fact, the first track ever built with no outside concrete retaining wall. It is just safer barriers here on this racetrack. And that would have certainly softened what was overall a severe impact. Look at that. Shoots him across the track. There goes the 6. The 6 gets plowed down by the 26. But the 82, he nearly rolled it over. You know, we've seen plenty of bizarre and wild collisions in Fast Fridays. Here, though, under the lights in Iowa, racing in a cornfield this Thursday running of this Friday Fast Fridays event, may have just seen one of the hardest hits I've ever seen from Mateo Mitchell.
Oh, dear. Just nothing he could do either. Very nearly, as you say, up on his roof. And the fact he hasn't got the worst damage out of everybody from that is quite remarkable, but there you have it. Lights are off on top of the pace car, and we'll do it again in a moment, but that was a pretty much perfect restart, wasn't it, from Duisi. Not a perfect start for Larry Pace, although he'll hope to do what Tucker did to him only on that last restart.
Yeah, so now that we get into another, at least we're keeping our fingers crossed that is a brief green-yellow cycle. These racers may try and turn up the aggression as we get farther along. I mean, hey, in the not too far off future, we'll only have 30 laps left to go. So gotta wonder what the level of aggression has been on these restarts. If we can chronicle it, probably getting higher up and closer to a 10. I think we'll probably be at a 6 or 7 here on this restart. Let's see how it goes.
Into the restart zone, and we are underway again. Great jump for Duiti. Everyone caught off guard by that. Even Pace, who should be right up his tailpipes at the moment, trying to get into second. He is on the inside of Tucker though, and he should get second unless he gets boxed in here by the other 8 car. Tucker on the outside is now going to be the one boxed in. A little bit of contact with the wall indeed in the background as well, as Pace dives into 3 and 4, desperately trying to keep second in a way that or get second, I should say, in a way that Tucker did to him. Oh, he very nearly turns him coming off for 4.
Oh, all 3 of them had their own fair share of drama as they headed their way off through that part of the track. Tucker nearly turned Deweese. Tucker nearly got turned by Larry Pace. They're 3 wide right behind. These racers clearly do not fear death. Close quarter stuff all throughout this field as we're now in the final 30. Who's going to win out in all this? Who's going to win out that 3 wide action? Not sure if anybody's going to win out in all that as they made contact, and I thought I saw a driver spitting off into the infield. We did not. We remain green. Braxton DeWeese still your race leader as pandemonium breaking out all throughout this field.
Yeah, it is pandemonium down the back end of the field, but they get away with it, thankfully. Through turn 4 and onto the start-finish line again, and a look there from Connor James, that is, down the inside of Tony Blake Brewer, who is indeed through now. That's Connor James, that is. Up into 4th position. 3 wide again in the background, very nearly. It's only a brief moment that time round. And Larry Pace, by the way, did get back to second. So it seems that the inside line is certainly the place to restart from, whether that's in 1st place or 3rd. They normally end up 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think that outside has a lot more asphalt transitions to worry about there. Just kind of going off and just looking at the dynamics of it on the lines that those racers take, as that's a sledgehammer hit for the 88 coming out of turn number 2. The 4 goes into the wall, the 1 collected in that incident as well. We are back under yellow, as that was a huge shot into the outside wall, coming onto the back straightaway with the 88 pretty much hit head on. We're hearing that 17 also picked up a meatball flag and all that as well. Can't necessarily say that I'm surprised. 73, my apologies there. Sorry. So you can see the 1 with smoke piling out of the back. On 73 laps left, it was the 17 involved, and close enough numbers. I'll give it credit where credit is due. I'm a little bit dyslexic myself, so that's why I usually get the numbers mixed up. As we see the 1 and the 88 make that bit of contact, the 1 gets a bit of a wiggle, and then bang, there you go. It looked like the 88 kind of clipped that wall in an odd way, as Jeff Maconi got collected in that too.
I think Maconi just about avoided it. The 88 goes hard into the inside wall, but I've got to say, it did not give any room on the outside to that 1 car, which is even worse damaged there. Even worse damaged? That's not English, is it really? Damaged even worse? Anyway, this is what the guys saw. That's Maconi just in front. You see the 1 car already driving down the wall, but that still doesn't give a right for the car on the inside to drive him up into the fence. And bang, there you go. You're right. Maconi did get involved in that. He didn't quite avoid it completely. Misread that initially. So we'll see what the damage is like for all these guys, because it could be fairly severe for some of those involved in that latest crash.
I'll tell you what, seeing the 88 and the 86 all around each other. At first, when I saw that incident, saw the 88 end up in the wall, I thought it was Maconi. It looked vaguely similar from a distance, albeit my eyes don't really work like eyes. I think my feet would probably work better than my eyes work as eyes, frankly. I remember one time I got a vision test done, and my doctor said I had 20/50 vision in my left eye. And I don't think that means that I can see off into the future. I think that means that I could not see a cannonball getting fired my way.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means either in optician speak. But or if that you don't call them that, do you? Eye doctor? Is that what you?
Yeah, eye doctor, optometrist, I think is the term that I use. See, I've had some bad experiences with eye doctors. That was the one at my regular doctor's office back in like 2019. My first optometrist, he one time gave me a glasses prescription where one of the lenses was like paper thin, the other was basically like a Coke cap, and I'm trying to think of the last one that I had before I got my glasses off at the last place, that I will not mention my name unless they gave me money to mention that specifically. I asked them for my prescription, and they just typed out random numbers and then just sent it off to me in an email. So I'm like, okay, thank you very much. I'll go screw myself, I guess.
It's good caution, chat. Meantime, green flag again. Maconi with a real run on the outside there. That can't be legal. He's 3 wide on the outside line, very high, and he'll be out of the black tarmac on the inside there, which is not where you want to be. He will just drift now a bit lower, thankfully, but dear me, that was all over the place there. Another good restart though for Duisi, who is controlling this race, and the longer he controls like this, the more likely it is that he's going to be able to hold on for the next 23 laps in the lead. As we got a spin in the background, will it cause a caution? Not yet.
Yeah, he's on the infield, running down there. I think I was going to call that a drag strip, but that most certainly isn't. That's a 6 car now rejoining the racetrack, trying to get back up and rolling. Unfortunate moment for Matt Mingo. Sideways snap out of 4, hit the dirt, and was able to keep it going in a straight line, but certainly loses out on a boatload of time. He's now shuffled back to P15. Looking at the racing at the front, though, still very intense between all of these competitors. Who's going to be the one that goes for the send sooner rather than later? Getting up to the final 20 laps here, so the aggression is certainly beginning to build.
It is. Oh, close. Very close there. Wilson got his nose chopped off. Oh, and a big slide in the outside line as well there for Brian Conover, who's going to drop down the field. Jeff Maconi to the top 10, and Brett Tyson down the inside into 11th. That was a big slide, but Conover does well to hold on to it and not spin the car out in front of half the field. We stay green again on this lively restart inside the last 20 laps we're about to be. Duisi just in front of Joseph Tucker, the latest driver to challenge for the lead.
Yeah, so Larry Pace couldn't do it. Let's see if